Hi there, and welcome to my complete review of the Motorola Xoom 2 Media Edition in the US and Canada, also known as Cyborg, and it's the 8.2 version. That is the Media Edition, so you can't really go wrong. And it's the Motorola Xoom 2. It's originally released, according to GSM Arena's description, in December 2011, so it's nearly 1 year it's been out on the market. In Denmark, Denmark, Europe, we first only saw it in, I think it was May or June this summer. And now I've been using this for like 3 months, so I can really give you an in-depth review of it, but I'll cut to the never mind, and I'll point in on the few things that are worth mentioning about this device. First off, I want to talk about the build quality. The build quality on this device is very, very, very nice. It has these kind of rubbery, I don't know if we can see it in any way, but this is sort of a rubbery casing. You can perhaps hear it all the way around here. What this means is, and it has of course an sort of an aluminum backside to it, and it has Gorilla Glass on the front here. But what it means is it just stands nicely, like on, if you want to put it on your floor. It doesn't slip at the button here. By the way, you can see there's a notification light there, which is also working just fine. So that's very, very nice if you just go on, let's say, out to the toilet and you don't have anywhere to place it. Like it, perhaps you would prefer to have it stand up and rest on its sides, and it does that easily without sliding around. So the practical aspect of this build, the build of this tablet is just working perfectly. It's very, very good. Right. What can I say about? Yeah, of course we have some speakers here, and what is interesting is this is the slot for what do you call it, the SIM version, but I don't know if there's actually one out there. Never mind. HDMI and charging cable. But what I was talking about is the speakers. Here are two sets of speakers, and here's one. And that's of course good if you hold it in the horizontal version here position, because then you will have sound to both sides, creating stereo. And that is just brilliant. What is not that brilliant is it has a subwoofer effect. And of course, a subwoofer effect on a tablet is just plain nonsense. And what it does is, it's kind of like, it's like a, I don't know if we can play anything that will support it, but sometimes it just sounds awful, but never mind. The sound quality compared to other tablet is good, so don't let that set you off, but still we have a long way to go on the sound. Before it's becoming really good on mobile phones and tablets, of course. Right, the next thing I want to talk about, of course, is the functionality of this tablet, and we have to mention the I don't know what you call it, the placement of these buttons. This is the power button, that one, and that is the volume up and volume down. And what you often want to do if you have previously pressed the volume down a bit, you want to press the volume up, and this is here. And if you are looking at the screen, of course, on the other side, you have a very, very big tendency to fumble around like my hand now, and feel where is these buttons. And actually, if you just do it relatively quickly, you really can't feel the buttons, even though these fingers should be the most sensitive place on your body. And it's not only me that's an idiot, I also seen other users do exactly the same, fiddling around. Where the fuck is these buttons? Right. And I, for this instant, I wanted to push the volume up. And what happened? What do you think will happen if I am sitting here and wanting to turn this off. Yeah, I'm gonna press there perhaps. And what happens then the screen shuts off, your video stops, or your YouTube playing stops, or your game stops, or anything, because the volume up button is so close to the power off, and you really can't feel it unless you turn it around. And this is volume down, of course. There's also, by the way, a screenshot function. If you press these two at the same time, I believe it's volume down and power, it takes a screenshot. Right, I'll go on with it. I just want to point out that the thing about the volume up, because it really is an idiotic thing. It is just so stupid. Well, now I can show you the photo gallery. There's a 5 megapixel camera on this hurly here, and then it 5 megapixel shooter. And then it takes these pictures. Of course, it's a decent camera, but at night, as you can see here, perhaps it's only like medium quality, and it has absolutely nothing to do with the motif. No, it is medium quality, but it's alright. It's not what you get on your top spec mobile phone, of course. And you can see this guy's having some issues, perhaps, I think, and other stuff. There you go. So it's decent, but it's nothing worth talking about. Okay, so that was the build quality and some of the main features. Otherwise, also another thing I would like to point out is the charging cable to this device is, I think, about 3 meters long. That is very long charging cable, and it is, of course, very nice to have such a long charging cable for once in your life. You actually get just a little bit extra without that much pricing. Right. Sorry for my English. Of course, I'm from Denmark, Europe. So if there's something you think sounds rubbish, that's the reason. I would like to point out some of the screen in itself. One final thing about the build quality, you can't actually see this, of course, but it is like this. When I touch the screen like this, it's sort of yeah, I wouldn't say rubbery, but it has a little more resistance to it than your phone, as your iPhone or your high-end Android device. I don't know why. It's just a little more like resistance. It's very weird. But anyway, it's just a little thing. And also, it's a sucker for greasy fingers. But the screen resolution is so good, so it isn't that annoying. But when it turns off and it's just lying there, and if you have a mother or something and she comes around and says, "Oh my God, you have greasy fingers all over the screen." Never mind. Okay, then you can see here now it's has got a 1.2 dual-core Cortex processor, and I really can't remember. Now I'll just quickly go into the browser to tell you how much RAM it also has. I'm sorry I didn't check that aspect out, but it doesn't really matter, because what I'm reviewing is the 1 gigabyte RAM, of course. Yeah. It came out of the box, by the way, with a Honeycomb 3.2, and now it's got a sandwich on it, and it's rumored to be coming also with Jelly Bean. So I'm looking very much forward to it. The reason why I mentioned the dual-core CPU is it's not like, I don't know if you can see it on this video, but it has a tendency to just in Danish we call it hakke a little bit. It's like, you know, a little bit. And we can see it perhaps when we're scrolling internet sites. You can see, I don't know if we're able to do something. I'm using, by the way, I'm not using the default browser, because the default browser, of course, turned out to be shitty, because it didn't allow me to pinch zoom on the sites, so I'm using the Dolphin browser. I don't know why this is looking bluish, by the way. I hope you actually are able to see the screen. I can't change the resolution. Well, anyhow, the screen I can also adjust light. Perhaps we can just pump up the volume. Sorry. I should be apologizing for the length of this duration of this video. As always with my stuff, just goes on forever. Is it a little more bright now? Nah, not really, isn't it? No way. Well, what am I going to say about this? Yeah, there is the browsing experience. It is when you're reading like your usual internet thing, like this is my favorite place, a Danish site called Mobilsiden. Of course, it's about cell phones, mobile phones. You can see there was an adjustment there, and if I go into, and this is, by the way, the best browser for this site, so there's not really any excuse. It is just Apple UV sensor criticized in Canada because there was a censorship. Apple censored this book called Hippie by the Danish author Peter Øvik Knudsen. He's not Norwegian, by the way. but anyhow, this is sort of like, it hacks a little, as it's called in Danish, when it goes like so. And that is the problem with the only 1.2 gigahertz Cortex. It's not really powerful enough, unfortunately. I don't know why, or if it's a system fault by the sandwich. Anyhow, hopefully this will be corrected in the Jelly version. You might think this is long, and I can also show you that we are very much nearing the end of this review, because there's not that much more to say about this tablet. I've really pointed out the main aspects, things about this tablet. There's just another thing that's really stupid. I don't know if you see it down here. The Wi-Fi just... I wouldn't point that out as a problem, because I'm very sure it's my Wi-Fi. But it just... There. Did you see that? Now it's lighting up again. It's just lost its connection to its Wi-Fi. And the funny thing, if I use my phone, this one I'm recording this with, my HTC phone for USB, for tethering, not USB tethering, just tethering, then it works fine and doesn't lose its connection at all, nearly. But if it uses the router, then it loses connection like randomly about every 2 minutes. It's horrible. But I don't think it has anything to do with this tablet. The last thing I want to show you is just a game, and the price I bought it from for. This game is called, I don't know. Yeah, let's talk about the game, the price while the game loads. Come on. I bought it for these prices. This is Danish crowns, and the other prices are in your various currencies. And if you don't have that currency, you're probably somewhere else around the world, right? I've seen... See now? I succeeded turning down the sound without any problems. That's because I'm a pro user now. I've been using this for 3 months. I've seen the price range from these prices to upwards 6 times more, but they just wanted to get it out of the store, I believe, in Denmark, because it wasn't really selling over the summer. It dropped about for 3 times this amount in one store over like 4 months, so that was a tremendous beating, I would suppose, by Motorola. Not selling that much, and of course now with the competition of the iPad Mini, you are having very big problems selling anything. I should reckon in this dimension, as this is 8.2. Well, now we are about to play. I just want to show you this game, which is actually a very, very good game. I don't know if I can get this to stand up while I play. I hope you're able to see. Okay, calibrate.
We are evacuating non-essential personnel with our transport. Protect the tower's landing pad until our transport can lift off.
So you're flying around here with this plane, and of course I'm an ace pilot that has absolutely no idea of what I'm doing, but my god. Well, anyhow, as you can see, it's sort of smooth, and normally this game would work very, very fine, but I just think I just calibrated like rubbish. Oh my god, that was very, very close to the sea. Okay, what we got here? I'm gonna shoot some of these or something out. Oh my god, I just skipped across the surface. Come on, you bastard. I don't know what is. I'm shooting a shark that's hanging off. I don't know why. Anyhow, this concludes my review of the Motorola Xoom. If you dig it, if you like it, then subscribe. And then have a very, very nice Christmas. I'll return next year with reviews of some different gadgets. Peace out. And bye bye.